Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, it is September, or we're really close to it, and Ascension is here. It's on the way, it's coming, and something tells me it's not going to just be part of this event, right? Like we saw the rank 5 gems and how that went. Ascension's going to be very, very powerful. We want to make sure you know, though, a couple of things, right? One, this is not a tier list. If you want to see a tier list, I do those monthly. Been doing them for over 3 years now. They're a lot of fun. It's great. This is going to be looking at things significantly from a certain spectrum, right? And who are the best champions to ascend? We'll give our advice on that. Rule number 1 is the champion you enjoy the most. Number 2 is no champion that's in the 7-star crystal, even the Titan crystal, is going to be listed here. If you really want to rank one of those up, if they're high on your play and favorite champions, they're powerful and they're high on my rankings, like go for it. Go ahead and do it. Personally, I'm probably not going to be tempting fate. I removed all those champions from this and I did not feel badly at all and still had plenty of options. We'll talk about the legend and the tiers and all that as we go through here. And then the other thing is, the Illuminati put forth a lot on this one, especially because this was our first iteration of it. And one of the big things is reminding people, 1, prestige is not going to change. And 2, this is just attack and health, right? So it's not going to be like fighting a 7-star or using a 7-star with the challenge rating and all of those things. This is still very powerful though. I've been talking about it for months on my channel and I'm excited to get this out. All right, let's go ahead and move through this. Now, one of the things that you will notice is this is kind of similar to the best 6-star champions to rank 5, right? Is that there's champions who are just broken, okay? I differentiate between broken and OP. It's fine. It's not really that important, but Doom, right? Like, are we really ever going to see the 7-star Doom? And if so, it's going to be years, in my opinion. Magic, she's only available as a 5-star, but if you're coming up in the game, or like if we get those 5-star Ascension things, she's gonna be one of the first ones I will want to ascend, because just to maybe even get a few fights in with her. She's that good, she's that strong, she's not available as a 6-star. Moving down to the top shelf, these are like your OP champions. This is how I kind of differentiate between broken and OP. Broken means like, we're probably never seeing them again. Top shelf, OP means like, they're just that strong, okay? I still feel like it's probably going to be a while before we see Rintra, Tiger, or Absorbing Man. Now, one of the things I will point out here is that we have that little star. That's like my own personal option. So you'll see that on some champions are the ones that you'll see me most likely to rank 5, then of course ascend as well. And then the fighting person there is Battlegrounds factored in. You know how much I hate Rintra, but I can't deny how powerful Rintra is in Battlegrounds. And then the high sig factored in with that target there with Tigra and Absorbing Man, right? All right, cool. And then, also, I know some of you are going to be asking for this. The screenshot edition will be made into a nice little screenshot, looking really good there by Miss DK. We will get that up on my Twitter, so make sure you follow me for that. Now, moving on to the super premium of Diablo, Hood, Mojo, Clairvoyant. None of these are available as 7-stars. They're very high on my tier list. They're champions that I will be considering after I've taken up all my other ones, though. So we don't know how long Ascension is really going to be that relevant in the end game, but we'll see. Maybe we get to that point, or maybe these are just champions you really enjoy. But yeah, that's that. Mojo, Battlegrounds, and the high sig really factored in pretty highly for me there. I know there's people who will probably be taking up Hood. A very powerful champion, I can't deny that, right? And that's why they're on the list. And then into the premium, like, they're just great champions. They're just great champions. They're not as high up on my tier list or things like that. But especially with Battlegrounds, I don't think it's a surprise that you see Battleground emoji there for all 3 of them: Spidey Supreme, Mephisto, and Longshot, different ways. Mephisto feels like he's relevant as a defender in almost every single meta, so keep that in mind. Now moving on to Mutant, again, continuing with the same theme, right? This isn't a tier list, although with Mutant, it does look the same. But this is using that resource. It's going to be very unique, very rare, right? Okay. Kitty Pryde, Archangel, Omega Red. I just really don't think we're going to see them as 7-stars. Now, I didn't think we'd see Domino as a 7-star, and she was in the initial pool, so who knows? But these champions are broken in a different way. Kitty Pryde, Archangel, Omega Red. Also, signal levels help on all of them. Omega Red, even the great Omega Red players will often say, really wanting that Sig 200. So even if you did come out as a 7-star, you're probably really happy with your 6-star, especially ascended for a very, very long time. Moving on to top shelf, this is Apocalypse and Namor. Now, Namor would not be this high on a tier list of mine, at least not right next to Apocalypse or this close to Kitty Pryde, Archangel, and Omega Red, despite recognizing how powerful he is. but you really want him at SIG 200. When you use him, how timeless he is in that way, shape, or form, you want him at SIG 200. We're not seeing awakening gemstones, just less signature stones for the 7-star. So it's going to be a very long time before we see Namor and the ability to get him to SIG 200, in my opinion. Moving on to the super premium, we then have Havoc, who's been relevant again as a defender and sometimes as an offensive attacker too in Battlegrounds. SIG is nice, right? So that's there, but really it's Battlegrounds that I think is moving him up there as a high quality champion. We've recently moved him up in the general tier list as well. Magneto Red, broken, so I could see it being a long time we've seen him, but Kabam's actually done a very nice job of making it so we're not using him as much. So I just don't think he's as relevant in today's game, right? If you're coming up and you're like, no, use him on 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, that's great, that's really cool, but you know, if you're talking about ascending your 6-star champions, I think there's other ones you're going to benefit you quite a bit more. So that's why he's so far down, despite having the broken emoji. And then Professor X and Wolverine X. Wolverine, Weapon X, this is a nice chance to address this. It's just like I removed all the champions that are available as a 7-star, even the Titan Crystal. Wolverine came out, I don't remember, with the Legends title, right? And then I think it was eventually one of like maybe the gifting event or something like that. Hello, we have a gifting event coming up. Would not be surprised to see 7-star Wolverine or Jessica Jones in there. Now, I'm not predicting that at that point. I want to see a few more things. I'm not saying for sure. I'm saying right now I would not be surprised. And as a result, you know, you could be pulling one. Even if you just have a few crystals, there's a chance it could happen. There's other mutants out there. I see the desire to do it, and I personally might even be a little bit tempted, but I really want to caution that, and that's why I don't even think Jessica Jones is going to be on this list. Oh no, actually she will be in premium of science. I see the power, Battlegrounds. I understand the desire and the want, but I think it's something to be aware of, and this is a class with a lot of other options. Let's move on to science. Moving on to the science class, you know, we've got these broken champions. Scorpion, to me, more feels like an overpowered champion than a broken champion, but he's so incredibly good, especially if you put him with those synergies with Venom, right? Who is available as a 7-star, so he might as well be in this tier. I think it's going to be a long time before we see something like Scorpion as a 7-star variety. Going to be one of my own personal choices, often very great in Battlegrounds. And Human Torch, again, no arguments there. I think he makes a lot of sense. I know people will tell you like he doesn't really need it. Well, I get it, but you're also going to get as much mileage as long as possible out of your Human Torch if he's ascended. So to me, it makes a lot of sense. Quake, 5-star, similar to what we said about Magic. I don't know how long it's going to be powerful enough for you to really use, but if you're ranking up or sending a 5-star, I think it makes sense to do these really powerful broken champions that aren't even available as a 6-star. Moving on to top shelf, Quicksilver Spider-Man 2099, the High Sigma Spider-Man 29 came out. I think this is a nice time to mention though that I wouldn't ascend a champion that if you pulled them as a 7-star, like even if they're not available now, let's, you know, we've seen Kabam, even with this Legends event, add in 6 champions. So I think it's clear that they will maybe do this at other times. I think we can't say that they won't. And so you never know when a champion's going to get added. And this was a point made by DLL. If there's a champion that you would be happy ranking at maybe even SIG 1 or Unawakened as a 7-star, maybe don't ascend them as a 6 if you have other options as a way to like break a tie or something like that. Kind of think that through. It made a lot of sense to me when he put it that way. A perfect example that would be like Void. Yeah, Void really does benefit from a nice high SIG on these longer fights, but in a lot of fights, you really just need that awakened ability. So, you know, keep that in mind, which is something to kind of banter about as you make your decisions, right? Moving to Super Premium now, you see the one of my own personal choices there was Spider-Ham. And that's because I love what he does in Battlegrounds, and I also really enjoy playing him, kind of going up to rule number 1. Champions you most enjoy. You'll see me do that. I'm going to be choosing between Scorpion, Spider-Ham, and Photon when it's time for me to ascend a champion in the science class. Then we got Cassie Lane, Captain America, Infinity War. Of course, the high SIG matters there with him. And then Mr. Fantastic. Moving on to the great champions. We talked about Jessica Jones, right? This could be someone that's in like the banquet event at the end of the year. We just don't know. We've seen it before. It would make sense. So just keep that in mind. And she doesn't really seem to need that SIG for defensive use if you're using her for Battlegrounds and that sort of thing. Void thing, of course, the high SIG level matters there with things, especially if you're doing like incursions or something like that. And I do believe that the store is supposed to get reworked. I really enjoyed the revamp incursions format. So you might want to keep that in mind. And then Photon, they're one of my own personal choices. And of course, Battlegrounds coming into play, DLL champion. And this feels like a nice time to kind of point that out too, is I think there's a couple different ways you can look at this or analyze this is, you know, you want to take like your best champions, but at the same time, if you're doing Battlegrounds, maybe you don't take up your most powerful because you are worried that they're then going to get banned, or maybe your most favorite. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we get to the skill class. Moving on to tech. Ghost is the one that's just truly broken, in my opinion. Nimrod, you know, on that edge, he's flirting with it. He's a flirtatious robot, but he'll be one of my own personal choices. Future Ant-Man would be one of my own future choices too, but I don't see him as being broken. I really don't. I think he's extremely powerful. He's very, very well made. But you got to do things, right? And I don't think he's someone that, you know, the quests are made harder or things like that by. Maybe he is. I don't know. I'm not a quest designer. But I just do feel like there is a difference between them. And I think very, very smart players will be ascending their future Ant-Man, especially if they have him at that nice high sig. Moving into super premium for tech, we got Omega Sentinel and Ultron. You know how much I love Omega Sentinel. I love using her. She's great. She's fantastic. Ultron, if you got that really high sig, right, that's going to be hard to duplicate quickly as a 7-star. So even if he comes out, you know, you're probably still pretty happy with that 6-star of yours. Premium, Penny Parker, Sparky, that really, I think Battlegrounds really playing into that. Infamous Iron Man, I'm not a fan, but I know some people are. I recognize that he is powerful. Hulkbuster, I see it. I see what Nagase is doing and those sorts of things. You know, I've been a Hulkbuster fan for a long time. So I personally need to put him up there. But you also see, though, I only have 2 options in tech for myself currently. Future Ant-Man and then Nimrod. And then, you know, if you're paying attention to Twitter, if you're on the Twitter, it feels pretty clear that something's probably going on with OG Iron Man. Either that or this is like one of the greatest pranks in all of history of MCoC. Hopefully we'll find that out soon at the Kabam live stream on Friday. I think it's Twitch. I'm hoping to hear something about OG Iron Man. I'm a massive Iron Man from MCU fan. Like definitely, yeah, he's my favorite character in the MCU, followed closely by Namor. So I'm very excited about that. I'm very much looking forward to that. In fact, Kabam, listen, sorry, we're interrupting this video. If you all are not buffing Iron Man now, I'm going to be very upset. I'm going to be very, very upset, and I will file an official complaint with the authorities. I don't know who or where or what or why or how, but this is not a funny prank if he's not getting a phenomenal buff. And in case he is, you might want to put him up here. And if so, I will update this sheet, which is linked in the description. I'll get this updated. Those of you who did saw my monthly tier list know that we did some updates even after the video went out, because of course that's what this is about. It's just to be helpful. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Take a look at skill. Okay, moving on to skill. And I know some of you are gonna be like, Vega, I thought Fury was like the 5th best skill champion, bro. What's going on? Well, one, I may have been wrong, right? Sometimes we think things and we have some fun in videos and then later we rethink it. But I still don't think he's the best, but that's not what this video is about. I do think he's the most broken. I'd be shocked if we see him as a 7-star. I kind of feel the same way about Kingpin. And so that's why I will consider taking them up. And this is where I'm going to go ahead and talk about this with Masakure. I do not think Masakure is anywhere near as good as Fury. I just don't in the overall game. I do think he's a better attacker in Battlegrounds, and I enjoy using him. I've somehow become quite good at him relative to other champions I can use. And so my initial instinct, my thought would be, I'm going to definitely ascend Masakure or Kate Bishop, who you know I love and I do think is the best skill champion. But then I was thinking about in regard to Battlegrounds is that just means they're like, got a big flag on their face saying ban me, right? And so maybe better off ascending my Kingpin or my Fury, hoping my opponent bans them, and then I don't have to fight them either. And I then get to keep my Kate Bishop and my Masakure, who I am much better with. I think that's only something you can answer, but I did want to set the table as a way of analyzing this sort of thing. Fury, Kingpin, the broken tier, probably, I don't know if we ever see them as 7 stars. Kate Bishop, Valkyrie, I don't know. I wonder about them too. I'm sure we will see them eventually. More sure on Kate Bishop than Valkyrie because of what Valkyrie can do into the block and how she handles the unstoppable. But there they are. They're not available as 7 stars right now. The high sig on Valkyrie is a big deal with the unstoppable. So I think you can feel confident about that, even if she were to come out as a 7-star anytime very, very soon, and you were able to pull her, of course you'd be excited, but I don't think you'd regret it. MCoC, I just kind of gave my spiel on that. Baron Zemo, I don't like him. I don't think he's his power. I think he's good. I think he's someone, if you enjoy him, yeah, do it. Makes sense. Remember, the prestige will not go up. And then in premium tier, we have Stealthy, so powerful in Battlegrounds. Black Cat, you get that relic. She's doing some things for you. Maybe a champion, though, to keep in mind, if they came out as a 7-star, would you immediately rank them? Do they really need that awakened for your purposes? Blade, I say, and then I know some of you are like, Aegon, what game are you playing, Vega? We've already done Mists of Legends and Labyrinth of Legends. Well, I feel like it's out there in the MCoC, this is a hard word, sphere. And some long form, I don't know if I saw it on Kabam stream anymore. I don't know if I'm just completely making this up or if I've just been saying it so much or other people, but you know, there's long form content that's clearly what he's designed to do, but that is why he's got that dice emoji. And you can see then the legend, it's like, hold off, just hold off on this. Maybe be prepared to do it if it happens. But you know, if long form content comes out, it's been a long time. I think probably got to be very difficult to not allow to be good, unless it's something like they don't allow combos to be carried over. So I'm not saying go out and do it now. I'm saying be prepared. Just keep that in mind. You know, I like Aegon too. So just keep it in mind, right? Now, we are moving on to the Cosmic class, which is the last class for this video. And we've got Hercules, the Broken of the Broken, probably who I'm going to take up first, right? I like Hulkling. He was my first rank 5. I felt good about that. I enjoyed playing him more than I play Hercules, but I like saving items. Hercules is good in Battlegrounds on offense and defense. So is Hulkling, though. Maybe I will go Hulkling first, but either way, I think you see it here. Hulkling, Gallon, Cosmic Ghost Rider. That even kind of fits with the tier list rankings, though. Adam Warlock, who I will be putting out a video on because he is a great study for how wonky the AI is now. And so that video will be coming out probably within the next couple of days if you've seen this one. So make sure you take a look and see that one, because I have some pretty interesting stuff. I'm going to slow it down and really show you. The AI is like baiting us into stuff. I'm sure all of you are like, yeah, we know that, but I'm going to put out in a video and we can all commiserate together. So Adam Warlock, I don't know. I really like the champion, enjoy playing him, but with the AI being the way it is, my ability to play him has plummeted. Nova's incredibly powerful. I've really enjoyed this. It's something that I've caught onto lately. Probably going to be the subject of a Was I Wrong video coming out from me relatively soon. If Battlegrounds are important to you, you've got him a high sig, and then my own personal choice, Nova, and plus my dog is named Nova. So, right, that's a good thing. And then Angela, King, Groot, Cersei, Corvus, and Medusa, I think are all worthy if they're champions you really enjoy. I happen to know some enthusiasts of actually all of those champions. It's really interesting that I know some really smart, cool players who that is like their favorite champion or one of their 1 or 2 favorite champions. And if and when they ascend them, I think it makes a ton of sense. They're smart players. They know what they're doing. They're good at the game. So there you go. I hope this was helpful. Remember, the screenshot size will be going out on Twitter. So you can get that for when Ascension comes. And like I said, I think this is probably something we're going to do monthly, because I don't think we're just going to get like a little bit of dust and they're like, ascend a champion and then not monetize it. I think this is going to be happening probably like in, Cyber Weekend or something like that. And then the gifting event and so on and so forth, because we spent a lot of times, our 6 stars, we like our 6 stars. They're powerful. We're having fun with them. And then even some 5 stars like that with Quake and Magic. Let me know what you think we got right. Let me know what you think we got wrong. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. The 2023 Vega channel shirt celebrating MCoC and the fun we've had with Trello is now up for sale. The link will be live till Wednesday, the 13th of September. I'll take it down at the end of the day. So this is a limited time sale. We've done 2 other shirts. I'm wearing one of them right now. I wear these all the time. If you follow me on Instagram or on Twitter, I'm sure you've seen me wearing them. I love them. Mr. Belding, whose company this is, does a phenomenal job. My channel members love these shirts, asked me to make more of them so they could get them. They're so comfortable and they do look good. And yeah, that's it. The link is in the description for this. If you buy a shirt, make sure you send me a photo of it and I will definitely retweet that photo. And then if you are going to Vancouver for the Battle Realm Brawl, I will also be there. I will be wearing my shirt. Let's get a photo together. Make sure I get that photo, and then the video I do recapping the event, I will make sure I show it. And I would love to see a large group of us with our Trello board shirts at the Battle Brawl. All right. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Take care.